For question number 2, so this is a bit more, not really complicated, but there's an addition of parallel, there's a combination of parallel and series circuit going on in this diagram lah. So the potential difference given is 18 volt, so we have to determine the potential difference across capacitor 1. So for this question, what I would suggest you to do is always try to remember what is the characteristic for series circuit and for parallel circuit lah. So for series circuit, we know that the total charge would be equal. So it should be equal to capacitor 1 and the capacitor 2 and 3 lah, the combination of those two. And for the voltage, it is not going to be equal, so it's going to be like this. For the parallel circuit pula, what you need to know is the voltage. Oh wait, so the charge won't be equal. Sorry. So it's not gonna be equal. Wait. Q23 is gonna be equal to Q2, Q3, something like that lah. Okay, and then the voltage, however, should be equal across each capacitor. Okay, so this is for the parallel circuit lah. Okay, all right, so now you have to determine the potential difference across capacitor 1. So what I would suggest you to do first is determine the effective capacitance of this circuit. So how do we determine it is, first we are going to solve these two here. So that is just, okay, I can't do that. I'm just going to do C23 is going to be, it's a parallel circuit, so C2 plus C3 will be equal to 10 microfarad. And then the effective capacitance, so the resultant of this, when you combine it, will be something like this. So this is a series circuit lah. So this is series circuit. So that is going to be 1 over 10 plus 1 over 8 to the power of negative 1. To the power of negative 1 is basically 1 over the answer of this lah. So this is going to be equal to 4.44 microfarad. Okay, and then what we can do to find V1 is we can try to use the equation Q1 over C1. So we already have C1, we just need to find the charge on capacitor 1. So how do we find that is, since we know that the total charge should be equal to the capacitor 1 as well, we can try to find the total charge first. So how do we do that is we are going to use the effective capacitance. So this is CV. Okay, so this will give us the total charge across the circuit, which will then be equal to the charge in capacitor 1. So this will give you around 79.92 microfarad. Okay, tapi kalau dalam jawapan ni dia sudah round off pergi 80 lah macam tu. Dia guna yang round off sudah. Okay, but I'm gonna use 79.92. So this, after you get that, you just have to substitute into this equation here, which will then give you 10 volt. Okay, so roughly around 9.99 volt. We can just round that off to 10 volt lah. Okay, all right, next we have to determine the charge stored on each capacitor. So on each capacitor, so we've obtained for charge 1, which is 79.92 microfarad or 80 microfarad based on the final answer lah. Okay, now we have to find Q2, which is basically equal to C2 V2. However, we do not have the value of V2. So how do we find V2? Is we can use the total voltage. We know that it's going to be equal to V1 plus V23. And from here, we know that V23 is going to be equal to voltage across capacitor 2 and across capacitor 3. So if we get V23, we can then get V2 and V3. Okay, so this is just V minus V1, which is equal to 18 minus 10, which gives you 8 volt. So dapatlah 8 volt. So C2, we know it is equal to 7. So times that with 8, that's going to give you 56 microcoulomb. Do the same thing for charge, for charge number 3 or capacitor number 3. This is just 3 times 8, which gives you 24 microcoulomb. Okay? Alright, so that is quite straightforward for question number 2. I think what's most difficult is remembering what is the characteristics for parallel circuit and series circuit and try to connect these two together. But basically, you just have to remember what is the characteristics and use your logic lah. Basically, just have to find effective capacitance and yeah, just a step by step lah. Tapi this is quite easy if you just remember the basic. Alright, so that is on question number 2.